Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. Today is August 17, 2020, 7 o'clock in the evening, San Francisco time. And today we are going to do Emacs and Emacs Lisp. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to do coding probably. So let me show the background image. So this background image is basically a photo someone took on my Emacs website. It's just some sign, Emacs Land Development Consultants. I'm not sure what that is, but apparently some company named Emacs. So that's a background image, and today we're gonna do, actually I have several topics, okay, and several topics, and let me so you guys pick which topic I should do, okay? You guys pick one. Let me post the link here. Let me write the text out, magnify. So on the right window, you can see all my Emacs keys and commands. Okay, so so pick a topic. Let me know which topic you want. I'm going to post the topics here. So good morning, Papa Moon Lunaris. And so here are the topics. Type it and pick one, okay? I'm gonna do any one of these. Good morning, Papa Moon, and good morning, Daniel Langlois. Haven't seen you for a while, for a long time. And in fact, Daniel Langlois, you probably already know, you would be glad to know that your huge contribution to XahFly keys, the rewriting of the engine, has been implemented. So thank you for that. Yeah, so I'm using it right now. So that is fantastic. So pick one of these topics, okay? Let me know which one we're gonna do. Okay, so do that. So let me type it. Pick a topic. Type it, or else we're gonna start. Yeah, Daniel Langlois. So one of the topic is let me explain. Okay, so display HR. For example, in HTML-mod, I can type in my xah-html-mod. I can type HR, and you have that, which is a line break, horizontal rule. I want to display it in Emacs with a line like that, so I can visually see it. Right now, it's not working well. Right? Yeah, because what you are seeing here is actually the Formfeed character. So that is, let me show you. Describe char. So that character is called Formfeed, okay, and it has a code point of 12. It's one of the ASCII character, code point 12. Now, normally in Emacs, it will show up like that. You probably have seen, because the Formfeed is a tradition. It's a convention. It's like a convention from 1980s to indicate a section in your source code. Okay, so okay, so let's do that. So Papa Moon says, write a command to remove paragraph tag and also display HR as a horizontal line. Okay, let's do that. Damn it, YouTube not allowing a new line. Okay, yeah, let's do that then. Let's start to do that. Close that. Close. So close that. So here is my talk show page showing browser. So we are going to code HR. So let's begin. So first of all, let me explain what's going on. Okay, so first, so Formfeed, xah-li Emacs Formfeed. Search in browser, because I have articles about that. I have quite a few articles about this. So Formfeed, it's a ASCII character, code point 12. It's a invisible, unprintable ASCII character. Okay, it's some ASCII characters are not printable, such as new line, such as carriage return, such as tabs. So this is one of them. Formfeed. And by convention, it's 1980s convention. They use this to indicate a section break in your source code. For example, in Emacs Lisp, you will see it in lots of places. For example, let's do some live workflow demo. So let's go to the diode. Okay. For example, let's go to eShell. So we are in eShell now. So I want to look up the source code for eShell. So what I do is I call describe key, then press the key for eShell. So here is the result. So I can just press tab to go into it. So now we are looking at the source code of eShell. By the way, on the right, on the pink window, on the purple window is all the commands and keystrokes I call. So if you don't know what I'm doing, you can just look it up, and you'll probably find the source code on my website. So you see, if I move cursor, it's gonna show in the pink window. So anyway, we are in the eShell source code, and let's go to the top. Let's see if we can see that Formfeed character. Okay, so wait, eShell is not this short. Nah, this is wrong. The eShell, so eShell is written by John Wigley, which is the current Emacs leader, the maintainer they call. He has been for the past 4 or 5 years. So let's go to the eShell has actually that's just the first page. It has lots. It's not just. It's thousands of lines. So let's go to any of the eShell source code. Let's see if we can spot that Formfeed character. Okay, I don't think this guy uses that convention. I'm not seeing it. Okay, let's close it. Let's try another one. Let's try shell. Okay, the shell keystroke is so let's describe function Control-H-F shell. Okay, so here is the documentation for shell, and let's tap to go into the source code. Okay, here we are at shell source code, and magnify, go down. Wait, interesting, I don't see the Formfeed character. I thought I would see it here because this is one of the old source code. So let's actually search list matching lines. Then I'm going to type the Formfeed character. How do you type it? You press Control Q, Control L. Okay, so in the mini buffer you can see that. So I press enter, no match found. Okay, so it's not in the source code of diode neither. So wait, amazing. We tried 2 source code files and we don't see it. Now let's try some other. We need to find some old mod. It should be in diode, but maybe the GNU people removed it. That's unlikely. So let's try another one. Let's try CC-mod. Okay, CC-mod. So this describe function Control-F, Control-H-F, then CMod. Let's say CMod. Okay. Okay. Here is the documentation for CC-mod. Tap into it, enter. Then we are looking at the source code of CC-mod. Go to the top, scroll down. I don't think I see it. Now let's call list matching lines. Control Q, Control L to type the Formfeed character. Enter. There it is. We found it. Now go to it. You see it there. Now you see it's displayed as a line, but actually that's because I did something in my init file. But because you are looking at, I'm using xah Emacs Lisp mod. You can see in the mod line, I'm using my own Emacs Lisp mod. But let's switch it to Emacs Lisp mod, the default. So Control Meta X Emacs Lisp mod. Enter. You see that character. You see, you don't see the line anymore. You see this L. So this L, that is the form feed character. So you move the cursor on the character, then you call describe char. I have a keystroke for that. Then you can see the description of that character. You see code point 12, and the name of the character is form feed. By the way, in Unicode, at some point they changed the name. You see, it used to be called form feed, but in Unicode version 9 or something, 2010 or something, they changed the name into into this name, control. So the first 10 characters in Unicode in ASCII, unprintable characters, they are all just named control. I'm not sure why they do that. I don't think it's a good thing to do, because they must have reasons. But anyway, the first 10 or so characters is all named control now. So anyway, since we are talking about this, okay, close that. So what was that mod? That mod is cc mod. Copy the file path, close it, paste it here, link it, and form feed character. Okay, go to the browser, copy the URL back to Emacs, paste the link here, so we have the log of what we talked about showing browser. So we are talking about the form feed character. You can read that page. That page gives you a lot of details and philosophy about how should you demarcate a section in source code. Usually there are many ways. For example, here are some of the typical ways you see using the common character. So anyway, that's a form feed character, but there's one more thing. Let me show you. You go to a browser, open a new page, Kasali ASCII table. Okay, any question and comments, okay, type in the chat box. I'm gonna read it and reply. So you look at ASCII tables. So here is the ASCII table. Form feed is one of them. So let's magnify. So you see form feed is here. So you have form feed, you have line feed, you have horizontal tab, you have backspace, you have bell, you have some other esoteric ones such as acknowledgement, inquiry, end of transmission. By the way, this end of transmission you must be familiar, because in terminal you press Ctrl D to exit the terminal. They have kind of rich history, and you have null character, which is often used to indicate end of file. So you have the familiar horizontal tab, line feed, then line feed, vertical tab, form feed, which we don't use much anymore. You have carriage return, then you have others. Okay, so that's the ASCII character. Okay, copy the URL back to Emacs, paste it here. Showing browser. Okay, we got something wrong here. Let's remove the showing browser. Okay, so we talked about form feed. So what's the trick of showing the form feed? Okay, let me show you. It's another one of my page. I mentioned it. Go to the form feed. So if you just want a practical tip on how to display the form feed as a line, then go to this page. Okay, show form feed as a line. So let me paste it here. Topic notes. Did I close it? I closed it. Go to talk show. Today's talk show. Magnify. Okay, and we are going to actually look at the code on how to do it. I need to do this fast because I'm not sure we can do it. How long have I been talking? So okay, so we've been talking for 15 minutes. Okay, let me start to do this. So what we want to do is, because we are going to borrow some code, I need to look at this because I don't know how to do it offhand. So show form feed as a line. By the way, there's some very interesting questions. Let me continue talking. Okay. So form feed, I actually do use that in my code. For example, if I go to xah-flag keys, you go to the top, you can see magnify. You can see. Wait. Oh, I removed those. Okay, never mind. I used to use the form feed character, but anyway, I have a keystroke to insert. So how do you insert form feed? Control Q, Control L. That's how you insert it. And but I have a shortcut key, so I just call xah insert form feed. Then you just insert that character. So let's go back. Let's not save it. So that's how you. So let's study how do you actually do it. So actually, I have this command xah show form feed as line. Let's describe function and let's copy it. Okay, copy it back to Emacs. Okay, xah show form feed as line. Describe function, paste it, and show the documentation and go to the source code. So it's part of xah-flag keys. So copy it, copy the code, close it. Then we're gonna create a Emacs Lisp code here and paste it, and we're gonna start to code it. So let's go over the code. Let's see what's going on. So by the way, there are several packages online on MailPy and elsewhere on the Emacs wiki that shows the form feed as a line. But however, I've tried several of them. They all have a problem. The problem was actually I don't remember now. It's been several years now, this topic. Let's see if I explained it here somewhere. Maybe I have written about it somewhere. But anyway, the point is that all these packages, there are several of them, and in several of them written by the greatest Emacs Lisp coders. For example, there's one written by this guy who wrote Diet Plus, this weird and old Emacs Lisp programmer. He's a Lisp programmer. He also wrote, what's his name? Diet Plus. I should remember the name, but if we look at Diet Plus, then we'll know the name. Drew Adams. Okay, I remember the name now. I don't see the name. Drew Adams is an old Lisp programmer. He has actually written a Lisp article in some computer science journal. Drew Adams, I think he's maybe 60 something. That's my guess. So Drew Adams is a expert Lisper, and he has written quite a lot of packages. However, if I remember correctly, one of the package he wrote is displaying form feed as a line. But however, that has a problem. The problem was that sometimes it doesn't work. I forgot exactly what's the problem. But anyway, so sometimes it doesn't work, or something else. I cannot remember right now. But anyway, there are several packages all have that problem until a few years ago. This guy, John Wigley, not John Wigley, Steve Purcell, he wrote a version, and his version worked. So one day I asked him, so why is it your version work? Why is it others doesn't work? He doesn't know. He doesn't know neither. It's a problem. I couldn't find out what's the problem. I couldn't find the bug. So anyway, so then I look at his package and I extracted the code. So I rewrote it. I studied his code. So here's my kind of short version. I don't want a package like these days. There are a few thousand packages on Mailpath. Each one is like when you write a package, you have to declare require packages. But actually, all you need is a function. All you need is these 10 lines of code. You don't need a package. So you just grab this, put in your init file, and you work. So for example, let's switch to text mod. Okay, let me show you how it works. Let me demo. Okay, so switch to FundamentalMod. Now FundamentalMod is a plain basic mod that does nothing. Okay, then you insert Control Q, Control L. You see, you can insert a Formfeed character. Describe character, you have a Formfeed. Okay, then it does not display as a line. But however, now if I call the command xah-Formfeed as line, then it shows a line. You see, if your font size is large, then the line becomes large. So now let's go back to xah Emacs Lisp mod. Okay, we're gonna code this. So I don't remember how it's done. So let's look at the code. Any comments, questions? Hello world, Nimashiko. So let's look at the code. So program. Okay, we don't need the whole program actually. So when not buffer display table. Oh my God, we're gonna look into this. When not buffer display table. So basically, the outline of the code is when. So this means when the buffer does not have the variable buffer display table. When the buffer display table, so that variable is a built-in variable. It's a built-in local buffer variable, meaning that each buffer may have a different value. This variable may have a different value in different buffers. So it says when the value of the buffer display variable is nil, then it's going to create one. Okay, so that's what this line means. So let's look at what is buffer display variable. So let's call describe var, describe variable. Okay, here's the documentation for it. So it says buffer display variable is a variable defined in C source code. Its value is shown below. So the documentation is automatically becomes buffer local when set, right? So documentation display table that controls display of the content of current buffer. Okay, so basically, right? So we are going to use this variable to modify how it displays the Formfeed character. So it says if this variable is nil, the value of that standard display variable is used. Okay, each window can have its own overriding display table. Okay, so yeah. Then it goes on to explain in detail. So let's ignore it for now. So we created a buffer display variable. Buffer display table. Then okay, so it's very simple. So a set, we are going to set the variable. So buffer display table. Okay, we are going to set this variable. And what's the value of this variable? The value of this variable is some kind of what's the data structure? It's some kind of it explains here. It's a character table. Yeah, character table. Now character table, I believe, is some kind of vector. It's yeah, I think it's a specialized vector in Emacs Lisp. You can look up. We don't need to worry about it for now. So basically, we want to set. So it's a vector. It's a vector of pairs. Yeah, probably. But anyway, so we want to a set. A set is setting a vector. Let's describe function and let's look up. So describe function a set. Wait. yeah, array. Vector is an array in Emacs Lisp. So a set array, index and element. Okay, so we are going to set this array buffer display table and the index. Okay, so I understand. So it takes two arguments. So it takes two arguments. The first argument is the index of the vector. The second argument is the element you want to, the new value. So back to the code. This element. So this thing, this question mark backslash, then that is a syntax for the character Formfeed. So which is ASCII 12, right? ASCII 12 or 13. Yeah, ASCII 12. So that is actually the syntax for the Formfeed. I mean, that's a syntax for the character Formfeed, which, okay, so but in Emacs a character has the same, in Emacs a character is indistinguishable from the integer. So when you have a character, it basically just means the ID of the core point of that character. So this character, the syntax for the character, it just evaluates to the number 12, the integer 12. So basically, we set the index 12th index by this value, vector concat. Okay, now I know what it's doing. So so basically what it is doing is just trying to change the display of one single character. So when you see that character, we change it to this make glyph, this a sequence of dashes. Then we just redraw frame. Okay, now we know how this works, but it's not going to work for us because the key thing here is the character. We are changing the display of a character, but for the HTML-HDR, it's not going to work. Yeah, okay. So we made show in browser. Okay, so so essentially we failed. We cannot use this code to do what we want. But is it possible? Yes, I think it's possible. You have to okay, but yes, it's possible, but I know how to do it offhand, but I'm not it's not I cannot do it right away off my head. So how you do it? You go to Emacs Lisp tutorial. You go to my Emacs Lisp tutorial, then you can see, you go to how to write a major mod. Okay, then you go to the topic, overlay highlighting. Okay, so I think this I think we might use this to do that, but actually I do not know how to do it offhand, so that's gonna be a lot. Yeah, I don't know how to do it offhand. That's gonna be, you're just gonna be watching me live coding it, and we cannot finish it in 30 minutes. Okay, so what we should do now, so we have two options. We skip this and do the next one, which is easier. Write a command to remove paragraph tag. This is pretty easy. We can do it in 5 minutes. Or we continue. I'm going to try to code this, and I'm sure we cannot finish in 30 minutes. In 30 more minutes, I cannot finish it. But so what you get is you'll be looking at how I code Emacs Lisp, how I go about trying to find out about things, and my workflow. So which one? Pick one. Type, guys, pick one. Let's see how long have I been talking. Pick one, okay? I wait for your answer. I've been talking for 31 minutes. Meanwhile, actually, I can easily finish that paragraph thing. So meanwhile, the Emacs 27 came out. I did a video a few days ago, and that ended up as a giant rant. So Emacs 27, actually, I'm going through the Emacs 27 news, which is like 2,000 lines documentation about what has been changed. I'm going through all of them and extract the interesting ones for you to see. So far, this is what I have so far. I have still 1,000 lines to read. So I'm starting to write this short account, and then I'm going to write a tutorial. Rewrite these so that you can easily know exactly which command to call, what configuration you have to do. Any comments? No comments? Comment, guys. Comments, like which topic? Okay. Okay. Let me just begin. Start to code the paragraph then. Then maybe we come back to this. Okay. Let's code the paragraph. So we want to write a code that remove a paragraph tag. Let's write Lisp code to remove paragraph tag. Okay, add a tag. So for example, Lisp function. Okay, let's say xah-html-remove-paragraph. Okay, make it a code. Show in browser. So you can see here. So we have a paragraph. So I want to write a command. So I just press a button, and it'll remove this P and this P. So let's begin to do it. Okay, add a template. Go to there. Paste it. That's a function name. Define. Okay, so define a function. Okay, define. Yeah, that's a template. Okay, that's what we want, and this will be docstring version remove paragraph tag. Okay, then let's begin. So first of all, remove paragraph tag. Go to the beginning of save excursion. Let me do this quickly. If you don't know, you can always call describe function to see what the function do. Okay, I've been doing live coding quite a while now, so I'm not going to explain every detail. And meanwhile, look at on the pink window to see what command I'm calling. So let position 1, okay, position 2, that's the beginning and end position of the location we want, of the region. So let's go to, first of all, we want to grab the block, like this is the block. So user do not have to do a region before they call the command. So save excursion, search backward, right? So new line, 2 new lines, bound, add no error, okay. Then forward char 2, okay. Then set position 1. Point is the location of your cursor. That returns the position of the cursor. Okay. Then search forward. So this part will locate the beginning of the line after the empty lines. So that's what these do. So that returns the position 1, which is the beginning of the line after the empty lines. Now we want to find the end of the position before the empty lines. So now search forward, okay, new line, 2 new lines, okay, then backward char, move back 2 characters, then set position to point. Okay, pretty fine. So that we have set. So now we got the position. Now we want the new variable, input string. Okay, that's a variable. Set input string equals to buffer string no properties. Okay, start end, position 1, position 2. So that will return. So far the code will return, the input string will be the paragraph that is under cursor, which is, for example, if I call the command now, it will return basically this part. So that's our input string. So now narrow to region. Okay, now save save session. What is a save? We want to call narrow to region, save restriction. Okay, when you call narrow to region, you want to call save restriction before. Okay, save restriction, narrow to region, position 1, position 2, so that Emacs will ignore all the buffers, all the parts that's not in the region, so we can work on the region, do replacement without worrying about changing other parts. So that's narrow to region. Then we go back to go to char buffer minimum, point minimum. Okay, point minimum returns the position of the minimum, I mean basically the beginning of buffer. That returns the position of the beginning of buffer, which is usually 1. I think it's always 1. So we move the character to the beginning of buffer, then we search forward for the paragraph tag. So while we do a while loop. Okay, wait, search forward bound nil, no error true, no error. Okay, we search forward and then we replace match, new text, empty string. Okay, ignore the rest of that. So this part will replace the occurrence of the one of the paragraph. Okay, then let's do it again. Search forward, yeah, let's do it again. Then let's do the closing paragraph tag. Okay, I think that's it. Let's clean up the code. Okay, eval buffer, go to a HTML page, go to xah talk show. Let's work on this part. Okay, so you see there's a paragraph showing browser. You see we got this paragraph thing. Now we try the command. We try it. We call the command now. It should remove that and that. Let's call it xah-html-remove-paragraph. It done, successful. One time, one shot, it works successfully. Okay, undo. Now we just want to grab the code and put it here. Okay, so go back to the code buffer. Where is it? delete it and copy to clipboard, paste it here, show in browser. We have the code here, today's code. So wait, hold on a second. We want to syntax color it, show in browser, refresh. There it is. So that is that. And so maybe that's it for today. Any questions? Any comments? Nobody? Wait, this is strange. Am I still like going? Video check, voice check. I guess I'm still going. Okay, so I'm thinking that'll be it today. Seven viewers. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Comments, guys. Say hi or something. I think maybe that's it for today then. Oh, I'm gonna drink my drink. So how long have I been talking for? 42 minutes. Let's see. Anything else I want to say? Okay, that's it. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. George, hey George. Nimshiko, you are not a programmer. Okay, but you are watching my video. But you do use Emacs, or do you not use Emacs at all? I mean, but you are my fan though. Thank you for coming to watch my show. And George says, any Emacs packages you recommend for beginner? Yes, I can recommend a few. And George, you are a Vim user, and now you are checking out Emacs and stuff like keys. That's great. So let me show you some of the command I recommend, some of the packages. Okay. So in order to do that, let's go to my Emacs config directory. So you can see here's my Emacs. Okay, diet. Okay, master diet, George. I highly recommend diet. You know, diet is the where you can. It's like once you master diet, you can copy files, you can delete files. For example, let's copy, delete, move. You don't need to use shell anymore. You know, in diet it's much more efficient. For example, let's split the buffer. You know, go into this directory, you see a bunch of files. These are Emacs backups. So I want to remove them. So I just press a key, mark them all, press another key. It asks me if I want to delete. Yes. Okay, I press the button, then it's all gone. So instead of in shell, you have to do rm, then some glob. In Emacs it's all visual. You can see what you are doing right away. For example, you can mark files. You can mark some files, things like that. Okay, copy, paste, delete, change permission, change the Unix mod. The change mod, change owner, change group, and all that. The easiest way to learn diet is you can look at, once you are in diet, you have like 3 menus. You see, this one of them, operate. Okay, one menu and another menu for mark, and another menu for rejects. Okay, then actually another menu. Actually, once you are in diet, you have like 4-5 more menus. But if you exit diet, what's going on? If you switch to another buffer, then you see all the menus are gone. The menu comes in only when you are in diet. Let's go back to diet now. So let me show you the packages I recommend. So also I have a diet tutorial in my Emacs. Let's go to it. Okay, my Emacs tutorial, you go to Emacs tutorial, then you can go to diet. So first of all I talk about files. How do you open files and some of the efficient commands. Then buffer, then diet. If so, you guys, if you are new to Emacs, of course I recommend going through my tutorial, and I recommend you go through them one by one in order. Okay, roughly in the first week, go through them one by one in order and read 3 or 5 articles a day or more. Then when you need to do something you don't know how, ask a question, ask me or ask other people on Reddit or elsewhere. Then when you need something, a package, then you download that package. Do not alternatively you can just download some pre-installed the bundled or download packages promiscuously. Like people say, oh, this is great package, you just download it without first knowing what Emacs, the plain Emacs offers. Yeah, that's why that's one of the great advantage of Emacs, is that you go through, you explore it yourself, then you customize to it to exactly what you need. That's one way. Of course, you can also try Spacemacs and others, which bundles everything. But anyway, so if you want to do it my way, of course, my own recommendation is that you go you go through my tutorial, then you use xah-flag keys. Xah-flag keys is such that you barely need other packages. I mean, there are many other packages. Helm, for example, many people swear by that, and quite a few others. Helm, Ivy, and so on, and Ace, Windows, and so on. But if you follow my workflow, you don't need them. Okay, and I would even claim my way with xah-flag keys is faster and more efficient, simpler too. Simpler, faster, more efficient. That's just of course, my biased opinion. So I do have a tutorial on diet. You can read it. So anyway, let's go back to the Alpa. Okay, so Alpa. So here is the packages I actually use myself. Okay, first of all, I recommend Smex very much. What that does is that when you call metax, for example, let's call. I don't even have a key for metax anymore, because now if I do a metax, let's see if I still have the key metax. Yeah, so you see, when you do metax, actually I don't think I'm doing metax. Hold on a second. So anyway, Smex is a replacement for metax. So it's much more enhanced. So when you do metax, which is called extended command, call a command by name, when you use Smex, it offers flex matching. So you just type the words in a command, it'll show, give you a list. But on the other hand, if you use metax, which is called extended command, okay, the full name is execute extended command, this one, okay, you see that one. So that's metax. So let's call metax. Right now I'm doing metax. So you see, now if I type something, let's say xah, let's say xah remove paragraph, okay, xah-html-remove paragraph, but I don't remember the names, I don't remember what it begins. Let's say just paragraph. It doesn't show, you see, it doesn't offer me that command. But if you use Smex, it'll show, for example, let's try Smex magnify. I just type para, you see, it shows on the third item, then I can arrow down and call it. So Smex is much better. So okay, Smex, match it if you use Git, Git and GitHub. Match it is great. Match it, okay. So I also use GoMod for Golang key frequency, which, okay, let me show you. Okay, key frequency show key frequency. So here it logs all your keys in Emacs across sessions. So I can tell in the past several months, I don't remember when, I've been using this command previous line for 425,000 times. I have been calling next line for 422,000 times, and so on, all those them. So this is fantastic if you want to study what command you use most frequently. Once you know that, you can make them easy keys. So this package is key frequency. Okay. So here's Magic and PowerShell. PowerShell, I believe that's for the Windows PowerShell if you use PowerShell. Then that's it. That's about it. That's very few. And Erlang mod. If I'm learning Erlang programming language, that's it. The other packages are installed by Magic. Like some of these packages, such as Magic, when you install it, it installs a bunch of others. It installs async. Then it installs Dash. I despise the Dash package. I explained it before, but and it also installed Transient, I think. Yeah, and it also installed with editor. So all these are dependencies of the Magic mod. I don't like any dependency packages in general. It's kind of necessary sometimes, but anyway. So the other package I have installed here is CompanyMod. So CompanyMod, it does completion in the traditional IDE way. For example, if you use VS Code or Microsoft Visual Studio, you have a pop-up that shows, for example, you can also see here in a browser, command option I, that gives you the JavaScript console. Then you can say console, then it pops up, completion, keyword completion in the traditional way. So if you want that in Emacs, what you do is use the CompanyMod, which is I have it installed, but I don't use it. But I do recommend it because it's not necessary. I don't use it myself. Okay, that's about the few ones I actually use myself. I don't use any others. Yeah, so that is my recommendation. So I think that's it for today. Thank you. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys, and go by my Emacs tutorial. Okay. Bye guys.